Hello and welcome you guys to Switch Game, and today I actually was just about to leave the house. If you caught the live stream yesterday, it is triple digits outside. The AC unit in my house is broken, so I guess the compressor went out and they got to come do a replacement. Still waiting for that to be done, but unfortunately that means the inside of my house right now is 88 degrees. So I have a fan over here. I've been drinking water up the Yahoo, and I was sitting here kind of working on the script for my retrospective video I wanted to do, and then I saw this pop up from another channel that I love, Residents of Evil. I follow them. They're a great channel, great dudes. They love Resident Evil content, and they were watching something that I hadn't seen, and I tuned in real quick, and I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't seen this. I want to see this because this hopefully is going to be something right up my alley. So I'm going to watch it together with you guys, give you guys a live reaction to this. I have not seen anything other than I know it's a mobile game for Resident Evil, which we'll see. But I thought this would be a kind of a fun thing to do because, again, I don't really do a lot of reaction videos on here because it's just not my usual style. But being the massive Resident Evil fan that I am, I really wanted to cover this. So turn it down just 10. I like how they're opening up on this, right? A little nostalgia nudge for all of us Resident Evil fans. Clearly she played Jill and not Chris, because Chris didn't know what the heck he was doing. I'm out of water. Probably should have got water before I sat here to watch this, huh? All right, we got Leon, Jill, Claire, Carlos and Ada. Interesting choice to have Ada in that outfit. We got Kendo and Barry. So is this kind of like the characters we're going to be able to unlock to play as? Character I don't recognize, Marvin. I really wanted an autograph from his voice actor because he did such a phenomenal job in the remake. Who was that blonde girl? If you guys know, unless they tell us. Apparently I am missing a character in my Resident Evil lore. Who was that? Tell me in the comments if you know, if they don't address that. Resident Evil Survival Unit. All right, let's do it. I will be honest, I do like mobile games. I play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I've been playing Girls Frontline 2, Exilium. Those are my two primary games. So, oh wait. Hello, sir.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Shinji Hashimoto, the executive producer on this project. I'm very pleased I can finally show you our new title that we have been working on for a long time. In the spring,
I just want to throw something out there real quick. I want to throw massive, massive respect to anybody in this new day and era that we live in. This guy, for example, Shinji here, comes out here and he's clearly speaking a language that is not a first language for him. He is trying his best to speak English, knowing what audience is going to be watching this video, rather than just letting him speak, his native English, which I'm going to assume is Japanese, and then giving us subtitles or a translator. Kudos to this guy because he is throwing in an extra effort to show us, hey, I'm here to deliver this message because I'm passionate, and I'm going to do it in a language you hopefully can understand, and I'm going to power through it for you. I got to give a lot of respect. A lot of people don't mention that when they watch these types of things. Huge respect. Sorry.
I retired from my last job at Square Enix, joined Sony Music Entertainment. Since then, I have been working on suburb concept that's unique to what can be done at Sony Music. Today, I can finally officially announce one of those endeavors. I hope that this title can offer something for fans of
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I love Resident Evil. If you give me a good game, I'll play it. I'll play a gacha Resident Evil. I don't care. Hell yeah, as long as the gameplay is good.
Resident Evil Survival Unit. The game
I like the name.
Currently in development for mobile and is scheduled to begin. Served by the end of 2025.
Okay, end of the year.
This is the first major project I launched since leaving my previous position.
Okay.
It means a lot to me.
So what did he do at
personally
Square? Does anybody know?
This opportunity.
Like, what was his
And
last
changes
big project?
myself with something I could not do before. I like this so-called pandemic horror and have long since admired the world of Resident Evil. Also, we felt that the game unique survival element of surviving with only limited resources fits very well with strategy game.
That does fit really well. Strategy and survival horror can go really well together. Maybe not. You'll lose a lot of horror, but
worldwide to enjoy the world of Resident Evil with others and different perspective to the other games. From here, let me introduce you to this world first full Resident Evil for your mobile. Please enjoy this presentation till the end.
all right, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
さて、ここからのパートはゲーム中でプレイヤーの拠点となるとある邸宅よりお送りします。この邸宅はバイオハザードサバイバルユニットにおいてプレイヤーがゲームの進行をするためのさまざまな準備を整える場所となっています。本作の世界観の入り口ともいえるこのロケーションからゲームの魅力についてご紹介していきたいと思います。バイオハザードサバイバルユニットはこれまで長い年月をかけて築かれてきたバイオハザードシリーズの作品と世界観を継承しつつ原作とは異なるパラレルな
Parallel storyline. Okay, cool. So they're gonna let it be its own entity. I like that. They're not gonna be stuck trying to do a repeat of like 2 and 3 and stuff.
スマートフォン向けのストラテジーゲームだからこそできる新しい価値の提供を目指し開発を進めています。それではここでバイオハザードシリーズのプロデューサーである川田正親さんをお呼びしたいと思います。長年シリーズに関わってこられたお立場から本作の注目してほしい監修においてこだわった部分などについてお話ししていただきます。それでは川田さんよろしくお願いします。
All right, cool. Show us some gameplay. Show me what this game is gonna look, because that's something I haven't seen yet. When I tuned into the other channel, all I did was tune in and they were doing a wrap-up chat with his chat, and I was like, oh, I missed the whole presentation.
プロデューサーをしております、カプコンの川田正親です。こうしてこの場に、呼ばれまして、大変光栄に思っております。1996年に誕生したバイオハザードは
Crazy to imagine, 1996, man.
そしてその恐怖を打破していく爽快感あるアクション要素が合わさって独自の世界観と体験を提供してきました。バイオハザードサバイバルユニットはこれまで30年近くシリーズが描いてきた世界観やキャラクターの在り方について我々カプコンが監修という立場で協力させていただいています。バイオハザードシリーズが本格的なストラテジーゲームとなるのは
I think this is a cool idea. I would love the idea of seeing Resident Evil branch out into a different genre.
スマートフォンゲームユーザーの皆さんに楽しんでいただける内容に
I hope they do like a mobile PC port, because I like playing like Girls Frontier and Star Wars Galaxy Hero on my
シリー
PC.
ズプロデューサーである川田さんにお越しいただけたこと
Sorry, I have my fan right here, and
光栄に
it's
思っております
up to 89 in the house, so it feels
こうして
nice.
一緒にこの場をお迎えすることが本作にとっても私たち開発チームにとっても大きな力になっています。
最初にこのプロジェクトについて聞いた時は
Impressions,
正直驚き
okay.
ました。これまでのシリーズ作品とは異なるゲームジャンルのバイオハザードがどのようにユーザーに受け入れてもら
Yeah,
え
I
る
mean,
もの
that's
に
going to
な
be
るの
interesting.
か
How do you present Resident Evil and convince people who like Resident Evil that it's okay to try this in a new genre? He's absolutely right. People are expecting one type of gameplay, and you're basically saying, look, we're trying something new.
シティさんに開発いただけると伺い、橋本さんならでは
Joy
の
City, I don't
バイオハザード
recognize
と
that
して
name.
ぜひ
I'm gonna look up what else have they
形
done.
にしてほしいと思いました。ゲーム内容については橋本さんとジョイシティさんを信頼してお任せをし、我々はバイオハザードの世界観とキャラクターの在り方を担保するよう全面的に協力をさせていただいています。
Good. I mean, as long as they collaborate to make sure we get the characters and things we expect, right? Oh, they do have 9 games on the Google Store. I haven't heard of any of them, so. Oh no, that's a lie. I have heard of Battle Dice. Or Game of Dice.
私自身もとても新鮮な気持ちを抱いています。また本作はストラテジーゲームなのでバイオハザードに興味があるけれどもアクションゲームが苦手だなという方にも楽しんでいただけるんじゃないかと思ってます。これまでのファンの方々にも
I like the point he made where we can have characters who may not have had a huge part in the main game be more featured in this because it's a character you can use in the strategy. AKA, it can be like your C tier, you know, gacha character. I'm assuming it's a gacha based on that opening where it showed all the characters. I don't know for sure, but that's my assumption. And it would make sense. There's so many characters in 30 years that you could throw in there.
RPD へと変わりました。これからはバイオハザードを代表するステージの一つであるこの場所からお届けします。ジョイシティさんは1994年の創業
Ah, they're huge in Korea. That's probably why I don't know about
韓
them.
国を代表するゲーム会社の一つです。
I'm assuming their games just probably pop a lot. Hey, we had those leaves at my office for people who need the shade because the light bothers their eyes. The exact same leaves too.
開発に取り組んでおります。それではドンギュンさんよろしくお願いいたします。
All right, Donghyun-san, let's go. Show us some awesome gameplay, sir.
조이스티의 프로듀서 개동균입니다. 세계적으로 인기를 얻고 있는 바이오 하자드 시리즈의 정수를 담은 신작 모바일 전략 게임이라는 대규모 프로젝트에 참여할 수 있게 되어 무척 영광으로 생각합니다. 오랫동안 사랑받아온 세계관과 캐릭터들을 존중하면서도 저희 조이스티만의 새로운 가치를 더하고 싶다는 생각으로 개발에 임했습니다.
I think they could do so much with this idea.
가지고 있는 전략 장르를 통해 바이오 하자드의 새로운 경험을 선사할 수 있게 되어 무척 기쁘고
Strategy genre is one of their core strengths. All right, let me see what kind of game this is, and let's see what it will look like. That's what I want to see. The timeline is between 2 and 3. Great. Hey, that's a great period of time, right? When all the hell's breaking loose in Raccoon City. Absolutely love that idea of putting it there. And like he's saying, because it's a parallel world, maybe it's not nuked. Maybe we can have this game go on for about 5-6 years and there's never a nuke.
물론 바이오 하자드 시리즈의 팬들도 즐길 수 있습니다. 다음은 게임 소개 영상입니다.
Ooh, all right, here we go. Let's go.
이야기는 엄브렐러의 실험체로 구성되어 있던 주인공이 깨어나면서 시작됩니다. 플레이어는
Oh, there's
갇혀있던
there's
병원에서
actual moving.
조금씩
Okay.
상황을 파악하면서 탈출을 시도하게 됩니다. 게임 내에는
That's like Resident Evil 2 when you move the file
세계관을
cabinet over.
오마주한
That's cool.
기믹,
Easter
아이템,
eggs.
퍼즐 요소들이
Nice. So there's gonna be
곳곳에
files to
숨겨져
find
있습니다.
puzzles. Nice. So they're keeping to the puzzle concept.
그리고 게임을 진행하면서 이러한 전투도 진행하게 되는데요.
Claire.
캐릭터들은 각자 고유한 스킬을 보유하고 있으며 이를 전투에서 효과적으로
Oh, it looks like a
활용하는 것이
tower
핵심입니다.
defense with active ability. Oh,
플레이어는
well, okay,
상황에
Claire,
맞는
just
전략을
whip out a
세워
fucking
강력한
minigun.
크리처들에 맞서 싸우게 됩니다. 이번에는
All right, so it looks like a
본
tower
작품의
defense
핵심이
type strategy
되는
game where you put your
근거지에
characters
대해
out.
소개해드리겠습니다.
You have to like
이곳은
use their skills to
플레이어의
keep
주요
back
활동무대이자
a
안전지대인
base of operation. So is it a
근거지입니다.
city builder? Oh,
플레이어는 바이오 하자드 캐릭터들을 동료로 맞이하여
Join Resident Evil characters. Okay, so here's the gacha mechanics. There's the gacha.
근거지에서는 캐릭터들과의 특별한 대화 이벤트도 경험하실 수 있습니다. 근거지의 중심이 되는 저택 내부는 원작을 오마주한 요소들이 곳곳에 담겨 있습니다. 근거지에는 원작 게임에도 등장하는 무기 상인으로부터
He's probably the one who handles the in-game store.
것도 가능합니다. 또한 시리즈의 인기 캐릭터들이 게임의 핵심 요소로서 대거 등장합니다.
They all have the same weapon loadout on the right. I'm wondering if that means you can equip them with different things. Who is that? I didn't catch her name. That's Alyssa. Hey, that's the mom of Resident Evil 9's character.
플레이어만의 독특한 전술을 구사할 수 있도록 설계되었으니
So Jill's a legendary. Barry's an epic. Barry's not a legendary? Bro.
통해 게임의 전반적인 모습을
Barry is a legendary.
이어서 바이오하자드 팬들께서
I'd like to discuss some points that fans of Resident Evil will be particularly interested in. Okay. Characters in the game.
바이오하자드 서바이벌 유닛에는 시리즈의 역대 작품들에서 활약했던 인기 캐릭터들이 총 출동합니다. 이 상징적인 캐릭터들이 한자리에 모여 바이오하자드 팬들에게 특별한 경험을 선사할 것입니다. 서로 다른 작품의 캐릭터들이 한 팀이 되는 등
I mean, it looks interesting. I'm not a fan of city builders, so if there's a whole base building like aspect to it, I don't know how much I'm gonna love it, but I'm gonna still try it. Yeah, there's Leon. There's our boy.
많은 플레이어의 사랑을 받는 캐릭터가 될 것이라고 확신합니다. 클레어는 플레이어가
I like how they're fuzzing out that left side so you can't see who it is. There's Claire, obviously, very popular character. Then you have Jill. I was like, they're gonna show Jill because they already showed her in that other stuff.
강력한 무기도 기대해 주세요. 카를로스도 빼놓을 수 없는
Carlos is a
캐릭터입니다.
legendary, but Barry is not.
카를로스의 여유롭고
Riot.
듬직한 모습을 좋아합니다. 본 작품에서의 카를로스의 활약도 기대해 주세요.
His role.
마빈은 꼭
Marvin.
등장시키고 싶었던 캐릭터입니다. 여러분의 인상에
I love
강하게
Marvin,
남는
dude.
마빈이
Marvin's such a great
본 작품에서
character.
활약하는
He's an
모습을
epic.
기대해 주세요.
Yeah, that makes sense.
さてここまで本作の大きな枠組みと登場するキャラクターの一部についてご紹介してまいりました。ゲドンギュンさんありがとうございました。
Interesting. I wonder what's for the other half of this video then.
ここで皆様へもう一つ
Okay.
大事な
More
お知らせ
exciting
があり
than
ます
seeing the actual game?
本
Okay.
作では一部のクリーチャーのデザインを
Globally
世界
recognized
的にも
artist.
大変著名なアーティストの方に手掛けていただきま
So
し
it's
た。
not going to be just the normal dogs and liquors and zombies. You're going to add some other fun stuff, huh?
数々のアート作品を生み出してこられたその方が今回本作のために筆を取ってくださったこととても光栄に思ってますそれではこちらの映像をご覧ください
橋本さんとは前からの知り合いというか仕事仲間だったんですけどで橋本さんが新しい会社に移られてこの話が来たんですね。
I like this idea of like having guest designer do a creature design because he could bring his own spin on it. As long as it's not like straying too far from, you know, the norm.
まあでも僕のやることはもうその絵を描いてキャラクターを作るってことなんでそれに関してはもう怖いもの系って意外と僕好きなんでバイオハザードってことでちょっとこれは面白そうだなと思いました。まあ、僕バイオハザードってそんなによく詳しくは知らないんですけども僕がやるってことはなんかあまりそういうこと気にしないで僕なりになんかこうイメージしたもちろんテーマみたいなのあるんでしょうけどそれをちょっと
That is a Gorgon. I've never seen one of those in Resident Evil.
やってみたいなっていう自分なりにこうやってみたいなっていうことでしたね。いやもうすごい期待してますね。どっちかというとゲームする方というか見る方の立場だったんでそれが自分のそのね作ったキャラクターが、まあ、もちろん経験はあるんですけど
That does have to be kind of cool as an artist, right? You see something you create become a huge hit. Like imagine the artist in Claire Obscure, for example, like how exciting that must be for them to have drawn and made the world and then everybody loves it.
こう決めなきゃいけないんですけども分からない方がきっと怖いかなって思うんですよね。なんか存在があんまり分からないなんだろうっていう影のような感じでそういう形でこう言ってったらすごい怖いのかなと。もちろん僕の役割はキャラクター作ることなんですけどそのキャラクター作ったものを見せないっていうんですかねどうやって見せるかみたいな演出みたいなで なんか分からない方がいいのかなって、怖い恐怖感ってそうだと思うんですよね。分かっちゃうよりはなんか分かんない時の方が怖くて、実際分かった時ドーンとくるみたいなね、そういうような気持ちもちょっと意識したキャラクターを作って、その後にそのキャラクターはどういうふうにいるんだろう、どこにいるんだろうとかって後から考えて、それでなんかこうそのキャラクターを見る。
Is this how the guy who made the baby in Village felt? Like he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make it so no one's gonna know exactly what it looks like. I'm not gonna make any hints to what it is, and then we're gonna let the character or the player finally see it and really try to scare him, because that worked.
までというか、なんかそこのこう、時間というかね、その辺がこう恐怖に。
Oh my god! If they have the baby as an enemy in this game.
つながればいいなっていう、あまりこういう経験したことがないので、多分そういうことが僕の役割なのかなって、キャラクター作るだけじゃなくて、どう分からなく、するかみたいな、なんかそんなような感じはちょっと変えてと思いましたね。いや今回は本当おめでとうございます。もうデビューということで、もうすごい期待しています。もう橋本さんね、実績はもう皆さんご存知だと思いますから、でこれでどういうふうに世界に向けてインパクト強いこう出すかってことで期待してますんで、僕もそれも
Hey man, it's a nice message. I hope you're right.
幸せですから、ぜひ皆さん、期待してください。
I look forward to it. I'm curious what this is. Like it looks just like a Gorgon.
本当にありがたいお言葉をいただき、
It's like Yon's
身を引き
offspring.
締まる思いです。今回私が前職時代に大変お世話になったご縁からお声掛けさせていただきました。そんな先生から激励のお言葉をいただけたことは、私たちにとって何よりも励みです。先生のご期待に応えられるよう、チーム一同しっかりと作品作りに向き合ってまいります。こちらは天野先生がデザインを手掛けたクリーチャーモルテムです。
Alright, let's see
ま
this
るで
thing.
今にも動き出しそうなほどの生命力を感じさせるこのアートワークを、我々とジョイシティさんで丁寧に、そして多くの試行錯誤を経てゲームの中へと落とし込んでいます。こちらの映像をご覧ください。天野先生に書いていただいた
I love the leaves, man. Like I said, because I've worked in an office with
ジョイ
those
シティの
leaves. It
熱
makes
意
me
あるス
laugh.
タッフたちがじっくりと時間をかけてバイオハザードサバイバルユニットのクリーチャーとして作り上げました。天野先生のオリジナルの繊細なタッチや生命力を大切にしながら、ゲームの世界で息づく存在へと落とし込んだ、その仕上がりをぜひご覧ください。こちらのモルテンはゲーム内である重要な役割を担うクリーチャーとして登場します。プレイヤ
It's very
ーにとって
interesting
ど
looking.
のような
It's
存
kinda
在とな
cool.
っていくのか、その関係性や物語の中での位置づけにもぜひご注目ください。
And I like, since it's a parallel universe, it being there doesn't break any continuity because it doesn't take place in the primary line.
Survival Unit is supervised in cooperation with Capcom and created with respect to the essence of Resident Evil. As a strategy game, it makes a slight departure from the original and take an outstanding approach to bring you the game on a new platform, your mobile device. All companies involved developed the project together to bring their areas of expertise. This effort results in game you see before you. We want to develop this title into more than just another game in the series. We want to develop it into a game with inherent value.
새로운 시도를 하면서도 바이오하자드 시리즈의 본질적인 부분들은 충실히 재현하고 있다라고 더 많은 분들께서 공감하실 수 있도록 저희 개발 현장에서는 세세한 부분까지 심혈을 기울이며 개발하고 있습니다. 게임 출시까지 많은 기대와 성원 부탁드립니다.
バイオハザードシリーズを見守る立場として、本作がこれまでとは異なる形であってもバイオハザードの世界観とキャラクターの在り方を壊さないよう、しっかりと監修の方を行いました。これまでシリーズを応援してくださった皆様にも、バイオハザードの世界観を感じて楽しんでいただける作品になっていると思います。
We hope this challenge we have undertaken with the team will result in a new Resident Evil that will leave an impression. At the risk of repeating myself, Resident Evil Survival Unit is scheduled to go live by the end of 2025. And we have started accepting registration on the official website as of today. Please go ahead and register. Also, please follow our official social media account to stay in the loop. It's been an honor to share this exciting information with for the first time. We will continue to provide the update and their exciting news as the development moves ahead. So please stay tuned. We hope you look forward to Resident Evil Survival Unit. Thank you for joining us today.
And we end on the music. All right, cool. So I want to go back to that video where they showed the gameplay. Where is it? Right here. So I like that there's this like little like, I guess because they have to have some sort of actual gameplay, it can't just be a menu simulator. I do like there is this little exploration, right? You get up, I'm assuming it's going to be a thumbstick thing, right? You move around with thumbsticks, unless it's a point and click where you point, but the way he moves, it makes me think thumbstick movement. Right, you're running around grabbing all this stuff, trying to like locate, I guess I can turn him down, trying to locate all the different things you need to kind of get through the story portion of the game. I do like the fact that there's these puzzles, right? That is very Resident Evil. That's something that most gacha games don't do, is they don't really have puzzles and stuff for the story. And then when you get to the combat, what I do like about the combat, like if we go to here, it looks like I said, it looks like it's going to be tower defense style combat where you put your characters down and then they kind of auto battle. Now, if you like auto battlers, obviously this is going to probably be a hit. And then you have their special abilities that you can use that allow you to use them off cooldown, right? Because you can see like Marvin right here, he activates his in which he throws down a barricade, I guess, to protect himself. And then she whips out this giant chain gun and just goes straight down the aisle. How many characters? It's kind of interesting. You have one here. I'm assuming one here, maybe. I don't know. I'm curious to see how many characters you can have. I wonder if it differs per battle, per like scenario, because obviously if you're fighting in a big open area versus a little tight corridor like this, maybe there's less characters. It'll be kind of cool. I guess the one thing that I'm concerned about, like I said, is this. I don't particularly like city builders and base building games. They're not my typical cup of tea. Mostly because I hate the waiting period, because that's how they get you to buy, right? They're like, oh, you can upgrade your hospital. It's going to take 7 days. Unless you give us $1, then it'll be done in 7 minutes. What do you want to do? I don't like that. I've never liked that. I don't know if it'd be enough to kill the game for me, because again, the theme of Resident Evil is so great. I might stick to it. Like I said, obviously, it's got a gacha mechanic. You're using this flare gun, calling in the helicopter and doing your pulls to see if you can get characters to join you. And then it looks like characters show up for the story, right? And this is one of the few times where, when in this type of game, where I might actually read the storyline. Like, I might actually read the text and the story to see what's going on, The reason being is because this is a world that I love. I love Resident Evil, and it will be kind of interesting to see them tell another Resident Evil story with an alternate timeline and not have to stick to the timeline that we all know. Like, we all know the current timeline. If you are a Resident Evil fan, we all know the current timeline, like to the letter, right? Birkin drops the G virus. He goes down, he injects himself. The G virus gets taken by rats, goes into the sewer system, starts infecting people. The virus spreads. You have zombies, right? We kind of know, and then Nemesis gets dropped off to help destroy stars. He's chasing after Jill. Jill kills him, gets out right before the nuke, right? That's the TLDR storyline of the Raccoon City period of 2 and 3, right? Yeah, you have what's going on in the RPD with Claire and Leon, which is arguably less important in my opinion than what Jill's doing. She's trying to kill Nemesis and, you know, get out before the nuke goes off. Leon and Claire, they get out, they're fine. They get out, no, I guess it is important. I guess that's kind of a lie. They are the ones that take down Birkin, which is very important. Had he gotten loose, that probably would have been worse. I take that back. Most stories are, I guess, just equally as important. But I just feel like in the grand scheme of things, like Leon and Claire are just there in the RPD down in the hive and they get out. Jill is running through the city trying to get through all the different areas, trying to get herself out while also figure out what the hell Nemesis is and help, you know, save more STARS members, which, as we know with Brad, that didn't go too well. So it'll be fun to see how they implement a new storyline. So that is exciting. The character models look fine, right? They do have a very, I wanted to come back here. Oops. I wanted to come back here to this real quick. You know, the character models look kind of artistically drawn. They don't look too terribly bad. You can kind of see that more so when you get to this, right, where they're showing off these characters. They look very mobile game like art style, right? They don't look all that fleshed out, if you will. Like, he's very blurry in the face. He looks like Marvin. I still don't know who this is. Wait, they showed who that was in one of the little shots. Where did that go? They showed it in here where they were showing these characters. It looks like you have to collect the hand for the clock, which is cool. You have the merchant. Oh, I'm assuming is the in-game shop, right? Is this a premium currency? But I mean, you can see it says VIP exclusive. So knowing this is a mobile game, we all have to go in with the mindset this will have a premium currency. It will be there for the sake of making money, right? We have to be honest with ourselves. We can't try to pretend like we don't understand that. It looks like when you pull, you're going to be leveling up characters and getting them stars, which I assume is just their stat bonuses. I do like that you upgrade them in stars, because get it. What I'm very curious about is this down here going to be a mod system? Like, you know, if you give them this weapon, it gives them plus 10 more attack power. If you give them this, it gives them plus 5 more speed, more defense. Or is this an actual weapon system where if you find a revolver that does 10% more damage against lickers, you can give it to him there. Now you just can have him blasting lickers. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. And then obviously, like I was saying, they blur everybody out over here, but they clearly have a huge roster because they show Claire, they show Leon, and they show Claire, which I'm assuming is this one. Oh no, Claire was this one. And then I don't know who that is. I'm assuming that's Marvin. There's Kendo. There's Barry. Becca Woollett. Yeah, I don't know who this is. I have no clue. But I wanted to look at hers because this is what I was looking at, is you can see the skills, right? And I'm curious which ones of these are active skills that you get to actively utilize in combat, right? And how many of these are passives that, you know, just boost abilities. Like this one says fires 100 bullets in a fan-shaped area. Each bullet deals damage equal to 60% of her attack. That's pretty cool. So she just sprays and prays. That's pretty neat. Now, is that going to be something? Are all battles? This was the other thing when you look at the battlefield over here with these guys. Is it going to be the same size in every battle? So her ability is always going to just fan the perfect size to kill everything on screen or damage everything on screen. Or is it possible that there's a battle where maybe if it's a little bit wider, or if the layout of these character pips is different, you know, if you put her over here and she only spray this? Do you have to put her here to spray both? That'll be kind of a fun thing to kind of learn and play with, you know, in terms of a strategy. Because right now, what's the strategy? Let me ask honestly, what's the strategy with this? I just plop down Marvin, I plop down Claire. You automatically are, I'm assuming, firing their weapons, doing their own thing. And the only strategy like that I can control is when I utilize these abilities. Now, obviously, there's more abilities than we can than that, because you know you have this character or picture, excuse me, with Miss Woollett, where she's got all these weapons and skills and stuff, and you have this right where they have different skills here. So it's an interesting idea, because another thing that I noticed, and that's why I brought it to this page, is when you look at Claire's skill on that other screen, it's to pull out the minigun, right? It's to pull out the big ol' ass gun. That's not even here in this. So what is this? Are these skills from these guys? Are these passives that these guys are all bringing? Right, but that is Claire. That is Claire's Uzi that she has, and that I'm assuming that's just her pistol. So I'm curious to see what all this is. And then it looks like you have a leader skill, which is kind of neat. So I'm assuming if he's the leader, is he bringing a skill that's boosting the team? And, you know, you show 5 pips on the screen, but it looks like the squad's only 3 people. So yeah, there's a lot of questions, which is great, right? It makes the curiosity in you kind of start to peak because you're like, I want to get my hands on this and see what exactly is happening. Here, same thing, right? They're hovering over Alyssa and you see these 2 abilities, whereas when you hover over Claire, you see these 4. So do legendaries have more abilities? Maybe that's what that is, you know, which I guess makes sense, right? Legendary should have more abilities than epics, but to what extent, right? You make Barry be an epic character. I want Barry to be badass. I want Barry to have the triple shot, right? Takes 3 shots to blow the head off a zombie. Let him do it in the game. Anyways, though, guys, I just wanted to kind of look at this. I hadn't watched this yet. I'm pretty excited. I think this is pretty awesome. I love a good mobile game, and so does the vast majority of people, right? Mobile games are hands down the most profitable form of video gaming right now. People love their mobile games. And as much as I'm always nervous with Capcom doing something different with Resident Evil, right? We have Reverse, Operation Raccoon City, the Umbrella Corps, right? They keep trying these different things. I think this is a safe game to do, right? It's a strategy game. We'll see how much strategy is actually there. But it's a mobile gacha game where you're trying to get your favorite characters, level them up, gear them up, and get through, I guess, a pre-made story. And I'm going to assume, and at least I hope, it's going to have like awesome boss fights. Like, what if every week or every month there's an awesome boss fight that you and maybe your guild can go against? So it's like your guys are all fighting Birkin and you have to do as much damage as you can. And then at the end, maybe there's a leaderboard to see how much damage people did. And the people at the top of the leaderboard get more rewards than those. I don't know. Again, spitballing ideas, because that would be really cool, right? Because again, I'm coming from Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and stuff like that, where you have raids where you're fighting against the Rancor or you're fighting against, you know, Anakin in Order 66, and your guild is trying to push the bar and do as much damage and get as many points so you can unlock rewards. I could see that being a fun idea here because they have a plethora of monsters to pull from. You have Nemesis, you have Birkin, you have the Tyrant, you have Mr. X, right? And those are the ones that most people know. If you start going into more niche, you know, creatures, like, you know, you could have Bandersnatches be a boss. You could have one of the stupid twins from Code Veronica. You could have them be the boss. You could have the boss from the first game, you know, the Marcus Leeches. Like, you could have so many cool bosses that are more niche that people may not be aware of. And these are going to be players who may not have ever played a lot of the main games or even the older games, right? The the tank control games like 0, 1, not the remake of one is the one I'm talking about, but obviously the original one. They may not know a lot of these characters and creatures, and it'd be kind of fun to see them be implemented into a mobile game that's going to get more audience and more eyes on the Resident Evil universe, right? How many people who have started playing in this new era of remakes when 2 was remade who don't know who Rebecca is? Rebecca is one of my favorite characters in Resident Evil. Again, if you watch my last video where I ranked Resident Evil, that's mostly because I like the books and her characterization in the books is really cool. But going back to that point, right, I'm assuming Rebecca is going to be a character in this game. She has to be. I'm assuming Wesker is going to be a character in this game. Chris is going to be a character in this game. And again, these are characters that most people aren't going to have the biggest exposure to if they're only coming from this era of remakes, right? We haven't had a remake of 5. We haven't had a remake of 1, 0. The only Chris that people are going to understand is the one from Village, and they're going to be confused as to why he's a jackass for the first, half of it. So it is going to be very interesting to see how they implement those old, legacy characters into this and what interest that's going to peak in the general audience of gaming when it comes to the Resident Evil story, because they're going to see Chris and Wesker and Alicia Ashcroft, and hopefully they can bring all the characters from Outbreak in here. And they're like, who are all these characters? What game are they from? Maybe I want to try that game, and maybe they'll go play that game. Maybe we can get her. Oh my God, Capcom, give us a remake of Outbreak already in the style of these new remakes. That would be a fun co-op multiplayer game. Can you guys imagine if Outbreak was remade like Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 with that over-the-shoulder cam, third person, but it was 100% co-op with like 4 to 8 people trying to do tasks and missions? Oh, that would be great. Anyways, that's it, you guys. I just wanted to showcase this because I was excited when I saw that initial moment from the Resident Evil channel when they were talking about it. It clipped up an image of Leon. I think it was this image of Leon right here, and I'm like, what is this? And then I kind of pulled away from the video, looked it up, and I was like, oh, this is a new mobile game. Let's take a look. So what are you guys' thoughts? Are you guys excited? I know not everybody wants a mobile game, and one thing I would like to say, this is not a Diablo Immortal situation, right? They're not saying, hey guys, don't you all have phones? And you know why? Because they've already proven to us that Resident Evil 9 is coming. Resident Evil 9 is still a thing, which means this is just a separate thing. And it's Joy City who's making it. It's not even the Capcom devs. So don't get mad that they're trying this. One of the things I don't want people to do is look at this and think, oh, they're scrapping Resident Evil and they're not going to make Resident Evil anymore because they want to go down the mobile money-making route, which of course everybody does. Let's be honest, every company wants to go down that mobile money-making route, but they've already done the right thing. They showed us the trailer for Resident Evil 9, proving to us that it is coming, and they're in this video saying, hey, it's a completely different development company. Not like what the ding-dongs over at Blizzard did, where they didn't even say in the same frickin' breath, hey guys, Diablo 4 is still coming, but in order to whet your appetite in the meantime, let's take a look at this option. Had they just said that, one line, I think the backlash of that audience would have been minimized to a huge degree. If they had just said, Diablo 4 is still in development, there's no compromises to that team, there's no compromises to that development schedule, it is coming, we're working on it, but we also are working on this. Let's take a look. I think that would have been taken completely differently. And I have a feeling that a lot of people wouldn't have been so angry. So that being said, Capcom did a win here. They released the official information for the official game line beforehand. And now they're like, oh, by the way, look what else we're working on. Good job to them. Good job to the presentation team. I was able to follow along and kind of keep an eye on everything of what's going on. I'm excited, tentatively excited. Like I said, the only thing about this game that has me not excited is the base building look to it. I've never liked that, but if the combat is good, if the loop is good, if whatever all this on this side is good, right? The loop to gather this, the loop to level the characters, the loop to explore the world and get to the story. If all that is great, I'll overlook the base building. But again, what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Have a great day.